Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Behind the Console. I'm Dot and this is
Derek.
and today's episode we're gonna vent a little bit about the clients. Might as well just do it. We had a hard week, so we're gonna talk about it. So
You want to start it off because clearly you have a lot to say. Well, in general, what we did want to discuss is also how to set budgets as engineers, producers, or just creatives in general. So that's the overarching topic, but this deals with clients and how to deal with client budgets and what they can afford. So
yeah,
you guys could start it off.
I think I'm gonna mention a couple of things. So number one thing, I guess it's gonna be more of a tutorial when you reach out to people that you want to work with when it comes to any type of creatives. Let's just keep it on the engineering side. So if you're an artist, management, or anybody else, and you find somebody that you want to work with, you appreciate their work, and you respect the work that they did already. You know what they did and you approach them and you basically tell them, hey, blah, 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 we have a project, song, this and that. What are your rates? Whatever the case is. If somebody sends you their rates, please do not try to right away cut the rates in half because it just doesn't look good on you.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's always a way how you can negotiate. If there's a little bit more songs, something like, you can always go about it. But I feel like if you approach somebody and right away you're like passive aggressive in the sense where it's like, oh, this is the too much, blah, 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 this and that is like, that's very disrespectful.
Mhm.
Because somebody that says their rate, clearly they said the rate because they feel that they are worth that money.
Right.
And if you approach them, you've heard the work that they did, clearly they have enough quality for you to reach out to them.
Mhm.
So I would say don't play no foolish games because it just doesn't look good and it always leaves a bad taste in people's mouth.
For sure.
And with us, I used to have an assistant who used to handle all the stuff when it comes to just race, blah blah. But I personally prefer to just have a one-on-one conversation between whoever, like between the client, because I feel like sometimes when you have a middleman, certain communication is being lost. So yeah, that's like my little vent, and I'm gonna build up on that. But that's what I want to say, just to
Yeah.
start it off with. And
I agree. I think definitely in this specific situation because the client is the one approaching you,
yeah,
right? So it's like he heard your work, he likes it. Obviously, he's aware of who you are. He sees the people you've worked with. He's aware of the things you've achieved
yeah,
as an engineer, right?
yeah,
So he's going out of his way to message you first
yeah.
to ask for your rates. So then for him to come back to you giving you 50% or in a very specific situation, not offering any upfront payment at all
Yeah,
is
we're gonna get to
pretty
that.
disrespectful
Yeah,
because we don't just pull up in an imaginary number like, oh, 400, 500, 600. Like the rates that we set is based on the amount of time and effort that we've put into our craft and it's what we believe we deserve. So it's not just some arbitrary number. So if you're ever approaching any kind of creative asking for their rates and maybe the number they give to you is a little higher than what you expected, again, there's always room for negotiation, for a conversation if you have a certain restriction or certain constraints, if you have more songs that you like to do, but it has to be done in a very professional but also reasonable way that works for both parties. You can't just be like, oh yeah, I have no budget. I'll just like, can you just do it for free? Like, you're gonna be my engineer for life, man. Yo, trust me, man. We're gonna get to the top together, bro. Like, it's just gonna be me and you, man. Like, I just need you to believe in me, man. Like, that doesn't work for us. Because
too many of those, man.
we have
Too many.
expenses, we have rent, we have stuff we gotta pay for. Like, if we could work for free, bro,
I mean, look, if I could work for free and just
and just chill, I'd love that.
yeah, might as well. Like, look, I love doing what I do, but at the end of the day, it's we got bills to pay,
Yeah,
and we got business to run, so it just doesn't work like that.
for sure.
I don't know. There's too many funny characters at the end of the day in the music business. I respect somebody else's vision and believe in themselves, but I'm also a realist, and I'm not even gonna say how many people that I've worked with throughout the years that promised me things and they said this
Yeah.
and that and blah blah blah, all
Yeah.
that stuff. It's
Yeah.
like there's a countless amount of people that did it.
Yes.
And
And sorry to interrupt
yeah,
you,
no
but
worries.
there's also people who have promised you things, and then when they actually get to the point where they can provide you with those things that they promised, sometimes they disappear.
Oh yeah,
That happens as well.
that happens as well.
So you got to take everything with a grain of salt, right? Like people promising us things, like who knows what's gonna happen when,
Well,
when those things happen, right?
100%. And it's like, sometimes people want to sign contracts, this and that, but realistically, it's like, man, you just never know what's gonna happen. And I feel like no matter how many contracts you will sign and all that stuff, it only matters if somebody really, really, really gets to that point where it's like there's a lot of money involved in that.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, you can work with somebody 5 years. I mean, look, we're not even gonna say no names, but it's like you've been dealing with people that owe you money because they
Yeah.
promised you thing and they
Yeah,
owe
yeah,
you a lot of
yeah.
money and they just like cut.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, is there a legal way that we could go about it? Technically, yes. But then it's like sometimes you just gotta take an L and just like take your
Yeah.
lesson and just never do this shit again.
Yeah, literally charges to the game.
Charge it to the
Charges
game
to
and
the
just
game,
keep
man.
going.
Yeah.
So things happen all the time. Yeah, it's just like I don't know, it's just a very weird approach that people have. Imagine you go to you go to a dentist.
Yeah.
They're like, "Hey man, I really appreciate your work. I saw your Instagram reels. I see the teeth that you did for this and that. Like, I'm a model. Like, if you're gonna do my teeth, I'm gonna promote it
Yeah,
on my
yeah.
Instagram for you. Like,
Yeah.
what type of nonsense is that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know?
I think music is one of the many few businesses where this kind of stuff happens. Like
Yeah.
you would never go to a grocery store and try to haggle someone on the price of a product, right? But it's only comes down to like creative work where people start haggling and people don't pay you, and like conversation we had before, like at the end of sessions, people be like, "Oh, yo, my bad, I don't have the money. I'm gonna pay you next month." Like this is one of the very few industries where that kind of stuff happens.
Yeah, I think it's because it's one of those things I feel where people believe in themselves so much that they want to put their belief onto somebody else. But then I don't think they believe in themselves as much because if somebody's giving you a price to pay X amount for the work that you're doing, if you really believe in yourself, that price should be like, oh, he's giving me a blessing because if I
Yeah.
really blow up, I don't have to give him any more.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't make any sense
Yeah.
in my head, you
No,
know.
for
But
sure.
hey, everybody have their own way of dealing with things.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, look, even when it comes to I think the biggest, I got guys that I've worked with from time, and sometimes it's about progress, sometimes it's about music. There's so many things. Like music is a very personal thing, and I feel like why I want to mention that is because everybody have that ideology that I'll be just like this big artist, the next Beyonce, next Drake, and all that stuff, right? But the truth is that it's a very, very, very small percentage of people that can get to that level. And realistically, that level of artists on that top of the level is just 1% of the 1%.
Yeah, it really is.
That's just the reality. So it's like, and the truth is that too. I feel like on the technical side, which is engineering and just putting things together, especially when you work on like multiple projects, when you start to record and mix and master and do all those things behind the scenes, it's like you probably put in the same amount of hours that the artist is putting in.
Yeah, definitely.
But the difference is that they do whatever they do with you doing the work for them, but then it's like you don't really have any benefits from that
Mm-hmm.
other than working for free for somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
No, for sure. It's a very tricky situation to handle sometimes. So how about this? How do you go about setting your rates? And let's say this. Let's say you are someone who's brand new in the game,
yeah,
right? You're trying to figure things out.
yeah.
How would you go about setting your rates?
Like fresh, like
Yeah.
I'm just starting. I don't have any experience.
Yeah.
Fresh out of school, like what's the case? Like, does the person know anything about mixing? Are they good? Are
Let's
they
say
good?
like they're out of school,
Yeah,
maybe worked, done a couple sessions, like novice
just
level.
beginner,
Yeah, beginner trying to get their
like
foot in the.
trash mixes.
Yeah, sure. Let's say that. We can talk about different scenarios.
Okay.
So let's start with that.
Okay.
Like how would you go about setting your rates?
I mean, number one thing, I would just check the market, whatever, if you at that level where you just need to set the rates and you know what the clients that you're gonna be dealing with at the very, very bottom. You kind of gotta check whatever marketplace, Kijiji, maybe do some little research, how much studios are charging, this and that, and see what fits within what you want to do.
Right.
And obviously, you shouldn't be asking for too much if you don't have the experience to back it up.
Right.
But I feel like because we are in the industry of delusions, a lot of people have just very, very different
Yeah.
vision of who they are,
Of course.
and what they can do. But hey, at the end of the day, is like I look at it from a perspective. If you find clients that are willing to pay it, you can charge them $2,000 an hour. If they're willing to pay it, they're gonna pay it.
Yeah. But they'll realize the quality afterwards.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, for sure. I mean, some people I don't even care. I don't even think that they care about quality. They just want to take some pictures in the studio and just look cool, you know. But
That's fair too.
I think it's for the beginners. You know, you gotta definitely kind of go undervalue. You have to undervalue yourself a little bit just to get a little bit extra leverage when it comes to the price and just getting the clients. I mean, you know, getting the clients is always the biggest challenge
Yeah.
that you have to. I think when you start in the first 2 years of engineering are probably the hardest
Yeah, for sure.
because you really have to like grind and build up and prove to other people that you are worth whatever you want. You know, you want
Yeah.
to charge them.
Definitely. What was because when I first started, so I agree with everything you're saying. I think for someone who's just starting off, I think the main goal is just to get clients.
Yeah.
So if everyone's charging 60, 70, 80, etc., like
Yeah.
I would even if I'm just starting off, I just open a studio, I would honestly charge people like 40, 50 bucks just to
Yeah.
meet those people. If I'm just starting off and I feel like I'm not at a point where like I can say my mixes or my recording quality is at that level,
Yeah.
I would say just for me, it's all about learning and getting the clients. And then as time passes by, as I'm growing and every single year that passes by as I'm improving, then
Yeah.
I raise the rates with my
Yeah.
clients. Because when I first started in 2020, my rate was $30 an hour.
Yeah.
But I guess back then it makes more sense. Probably $30 today doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But back then that was $30 an hour. 2021 it was 40. 2022 was 50, and then every year just goes higher and higher and higher. But
Yeah.
it goes higher because you improve,
Yeah.
right? And when people hear the quality that you're providing them and the quality of the service that you're providing them and how it's improving every year,
Yeah.
when you tell your clients, hey man, look, beginning of this new year, I'm gonna raise my rate to X dollars, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Most of the times people will be like, yeah, you know, I understand. Like, I can see you've been buying new gear. I can see you've been leveling up, improving yourself. So it's usually a conversation that goes pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, it depends on the client, I guess, you know. but-
Yeah, it depends on client. But if you're dealing with like reasonable people,
Yeah.
but obviously you have the couple of guys who, you know, give you
Yeah,
a
there's
hard
always
time.
gonna be those ones, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I mean, for me, when I think when I started working, I remember I used to charge $15 an hour.
Yeah.
But $15 an hour back then was $15 back then was much more than it
Yeah.
is right now, you know.
For sure.
$15 back then was like double the minimum wage or even triple the minimum wage. So I
Yeah.
think the minimum was like 5 something at the time.
Yeah. It's like 2015, right?
Yeah.
Or
Because right now
2016 or
minimum is like what, $15 an hour, right? Or
No, I think it's higher. It's like 18.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
back then the minimum was like 525 or
Yeah,
something like that. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So, and again, things were just I remember even like, you know, I was like 2009 something, maybe 8 or 7. I don't know, around
Yeah.
that time. Even things like when you go to you know, Long and McQuaid, I remember like API 2500 was like literally $2,500 Canadian.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
U87 was $2,500.
Wow.
LA2A was like $3,000.
Yeah.
Where right now LA2A is like $8,000.
Yeah.
API
Crazy.
2500 is like 4,500.
Yeah.
You know, like U87 is like $5,000. So it's just
Yeah.
the inflation is just like, you know, out of the roof, you know. So
For sure. For sure.
yeah, but yeah, I think that's what else was the question in that
Like
answer?
how so it was about determining your rates, but I guess like as you improve and you get to a certain level where you're trying to compete with the biggest engineers or like the top engineers, like how do you go about setting your rates but also dealing with like client constraints at the same time?
I don't think it should be a competition. I think that's what I used to think back in the day, but I realized it's like when you start doing your own thing, just create your own thing, create
Yeah.
your own lane, and you become the top engineer in the lane that you created.
Right.
That just makes the most sense. Because if you're trying to like, compete with somebody that's been in the game for 20, 30 years
Yeah.
more than you, is like, I mean,
Yeah.
what are we really saying? It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you're trying to catch up with somebody that, is on Mars right now and you just like on the moon,
True.
it just doesn't make sense. I feel like if you build your own thing and build your clientele around what you do and what you can provide, I think that really is gonna, propel you to where you want to be
Mm-hmm.
without living in the stress where it's like, oh, I need to be better than this guy or this guy or this
Yeah.
guy.
Not for sure.
So it's like, and again, I've learned it throughout the years. Like I always thought it was a competition, but then I realized it's like everybody's different, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? And it's like music is such a personal thing where it's like, you might be a good guy for this job, but you might not be the right guy for this job,
For sure.
you know.
For sure.
So and I feel like I was talking to Johnny today. It was today or yesterday. We're gonna get Johnny too at some point. Shout out to Johnny.
I think there's definitely more than enough clients for everyone.
Oh yeah, that's what I was about to say. So when you deal with clients, I don't think you should take things personally. When a client wants to go to like different studio work with somebody else, just like take it just the way how it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Because like the more personal you feel with client and all that, when they do I don't want to say stupid stuff, but when they do just other things, like you might just take things the wrong way when things are really not that deep.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And there's always like those situations where artists will go to different studios or they'll ask like for example, if someone asks you to mix a song,
Yeah.
but then they need to get the stems from a different engineer, a different studio,
Yeah.
there's like those situations where that engineer or that studio like won't send them the file. It's like, nah, bro, like what do you mean, bro? Like, what do you mean you're gonna get it mixed by someone else, bro?
Yeah, I don't know why you guys do it. Like
That
to all you guys that have this mentality is like grow up.
Yeah, that's
Holy.
just ridiculous.
It's like when somebody asks me, I know guys that would like have the whole thing. I don't send my sessions. I have to remove all the plugins from my sessions so nobody else know my secrets. It's like, come on, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Like nobody cares, bro. It's not that deep.
It's true, man.
If somebody asked me for stems, I'm like, okay, what do you want? Do you want a session or do you want stems?
Yeah.
I want session, I send them the session. I want stems, stem it out, send them the stems. It's not that complicated.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that complicated. Especially, you guys gotta remember one thing. Okay, the only way that I wouldn't send stems is if I had a session or I did something I didn't get paid.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
If I didn't get paid,
Yeah.
you're not getting nothing
For sure, 100%.
until that invoice is cleared. The invoice is cleared, is yours. If I
Yeah.
didn't get paid, it belongs to me.
For sure. I think that's legally how it works too.
Yeah,
That's
for sure.
legally how it works. Yeah.
So that's the only way. But if somebody paid you for the session, for the mix, whatever it was, by law, they own it. They own that creation that you got paid for.
Yeah.
And whatever tools you use for it is really not that deep.
Yeah.
you
The
know?
thing too is like, even if someone has access to your session, they see your session, they see the plugins you're using. They don't understand your workflow.
Yeah, for sure.
They don't understand your workflow. There are certain ways where things are routed. There are certain things that you do that, to be honest, like from looking at a session, might not even make sense.
Yeah, 100%.
You know,
That's
and
what.
it's like you're mixing it and you're hearing it in a certain way.
Yeah,
They're
100%.
gonna hear it in a completely different way.
100%. That's why I'm like, for me, it's like, for me, I just don't even have time to go in the session and like remove all the plugins. I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
I'm just zip it up, send the whole thing, do whatever you want to do with it.
Yeah.
If you learn something from my session, from my template, sure, go for it. I don't care. You know what I mean? Because it's just foolishness. There's so much more. There's so many more moving elements to the mix
Yeah.
that it's not like somebody just takes your template, removes all the stems, and puts another song in it and plays
Yeah.
it and it sounds the same.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work
Yeah, it
like
would
that.
never work like that.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like even the decisions like channel strips and this and that and that and that is all based of the actual record.
Yes.
yeah, I might use the 4,000 on this, I might use the 9,000 on this, but I might use like some other channel strip on this. Like it's never the same channel strip that I would use
Mm-hmm.
on, different records. Just doesn't
Yeah.
work like that.
No, I agree. I
So,
agree. It is a lot of foolishness.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
well, I mean, I think very important thing when you want to like let's say you want to work on singles or a project EP, whatever that would be. It would be good to come up with the amount of money that you have to budget in a way. I'm putting X amount of money for mixing or recording if it's not recorded, or like the technical side, recording, mixing, production. This is the money I put into that.
Right.
Marketing, promotion, I'm gonna put that. Videos, I'm gonna do that. Like just having the proper budget to understand where the single or a song can go. But I feel like one of the biggest things, and that's just the reality of a lot of things, people just have no budgets.
Yep. Unfortunately, man.
It's the budgets are very minimalistic. And again, it's like I understand, look, everything is expensive and everything costs money. And can you make the song go without the budget, or even the smallest budget? You probably can do it.
Yeah, we could. It's
It
more
just
difficult.
it's more difficult, but it requires work. I feel like the thing is that people that usually, from my experience, a lot of people that don't have the budgets, they also don't have the work ethic to actually
Yeah,
make the song go somewhere.
I agree with you.
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
agree with you. I think in 2025, man, it's like you don't need that much money. Like, don't get me wrong. If you have a big marketing budget, amazing. But if you don't, like, there are so many things that you could do to promote your music.
yeah,
Because content is everything these days. Like making a video, making a TikTok, like pushing that stuff on your Instagram, that's all free.
yeah,
You just pull up your phone, just record a video. You could edit it yourself. Like
yeah,
if you really wanted something, you can do it,
yeah, for
you know?
sure.
And I think that's like that's why I agree with your point. It's you don't have the budget, but you don't have the work ethic to figure it out,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So
I feel like that's one thing, but sometimes even about when you want to push things is, as an artist, you have to be creative. I feel like I'll give you an example. So nowadays we live in the times where everything is Chat GPT, everything is AI, everything is just you can do it without even thinking, right? But the thing is that, and a lot of people want to do things creative, but it's just corny because everybody did it before, and they're just trying to like recreate something
right.
that somebody else did, right? But I'm gonna give you an example. So, for example, I was working on some my own personal experience. I was working on the one of the songs. I'm working on like a remix production and stuff. And I heard stuff in my head, and I'm trying to find that missing piece, right?
Mm,
So I'm just going through different plugins, going through different sounds, like Anna, this, that, synth master, blah blah. Like I hear stuff and I'm just looking for the sound, right? I couldn't find it. And I'm like, you know what? It took me like 45 minutes to go through it and like go through the process, like search and like think and maybe change the ideas and just like kind of try to marinate the idea that I have in my head, right? I didn't find it, but I'm like, you know what? It's fine. I'm gonna
mm,
come back to it the next day or another day when it's gonna take me a little bit. I know what I want it to be, right?
right.
And then the same day when I was walking home, I saw it was like a YouTube commercial of a plugin that you just put a prompt, and those guys like, it's such a great production tool. You just whatever you have in your head, just type a prompt and it's gonna give you like the original
Oh,
idea,
that's crazy.
some. And it's like, I understand the concept, I understand the idea, but the thing is that music or creative stuff was always creativity is about using your brain.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my personal
Okay.
experience or perspective. If you want to create, you have to learn how to use your brain
Mm-hmm.
to get it to be efficient in a way where it's like sometimes it takes you a little bit longer to get there, but when you go through it, it's almost like a sector in your brain
Mm-hmm.
lightens up because you train your brain to get through a certain process to get you there.
Okay.
But when you just use AI, you're skipping the whole entire
Creativity. Yeah,
creativity
and you're getting the answer from something else.
from like AI, which is
Yeah.
like, I'm not even gonna. I don't want to be against it. I don't think it's like, maybe in some cases it might work and stuff. But I feel like everything is just becoming such a cookie cutter thing when it
Mm.
comes to creativity. I mean, think about it. There's producers that don't play any instruments.
Yeah.
You know, what I mean,
Yeah,
we
they
are,
just do drums and samples.
which is, it's still part of the production. I guess from hip hop, there was probably people, that didn't know how to play stuff from before. But it's just like you want to be a driver, but you don't know how to drive a car.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, or even like if you're a producer and you're like, you know what, I need the live bass or I need the bass or something. Isn't it better to find a person that is pro at playing bass and just hire them to do the bass for you and be like, I need this, I need that, like tell them a little bit, or guitar, whatever it would be.
Mhm,
Pay them a little bit and get your stuff done. And that's how you collaborate with people.
mhm.
Or you're just gonna type a prompt and it's like, I need the bass that sounds like this and just put it
Yeah,
in the song.
yeah,
You know what I mean? I feel like again, as good as the AI is, it's just like it's killing a little bit of the creative spirit
yeah,
when it comes to music, when it comes to collaboration. I think again, in some cases, yeah, it's fine, like one, two things, but we are here right now. I don't know what it's gonna be in 4 or 5 years
yeah.
if we're gonna go at that pace. Like
Mhm,
to do the drums back in the day, you actually have to learn the patterns. You have to understand the bounce. You have to learn how to get stuff out of your head into the moving canvas of whatever DAW you have.
mhm.
Or nowadays, everybody's just like put a loop in it and just let it be.
Yeah.
You
No, I
know?
agree. It is scary. It is definitely scary. And even have you seen like the AI artists, like the one that Timbaland used?
Oh man, don't even get me started.
Yeah.
Timbaland, man. Timbaland he's a fallen hero,
He is a
man.
fallen hero, man.
It's like I used to look up to this guy. I was like, look, I'm gonna give it to him. Like production wise, what he did from back then, he was one of the dopest producers.
For sure.
But I feel like what he's doing right now is like you trying to tell me that out of 100, 200,000 artists that is out there, there's nobody that can do better song than your AI.
It's true. And think about all the, it's not even like, there are probably millions of artists who'd want to work with Timbaland.
Yeah.
Millions, millions.
But I think for him it's just like he's just going for a bag. He's just trying to get the Suno bag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It just doesn't feel right though, especially for someone who's like such a pioneer in the culture.
And just showing the true colors who he
know,
really is.
It's just crazy, man.
Yeah, but it is what it is. We can I guess look, he has his own perspective on things. We have our own perspective of things. Where AI is going to be in the next 5 or a couple of years, I mean, who knows?
Mhm.
It might go further, or it might be a place at the point where it's like people are just going to be like, yeah, we just need something that feels like a human being.
Yeah, that's true.
Because like, look, I've heard like even I've tried like I've tried the Sunos, I've tried all the AI like music making thing, and I was like, let me try it. I want to see like how it works. I need to understand how it is. So I'm like, type a prompt this and that and that and that, but it's like 19 out of 20 times or 29 out of 30 times, it just creates music that I'm like, it doesn't sound like what I really want to hear.
Cookie cutter stuff.
I don't even think it's cookie cutter. I feel like for me, when I produce, I like stuff very simple.
Hmm.
The AI stuff is very complicated. There's too many chord progressions. There's too many instruments. It's like I'm not like I just want to make it sound simple,
Yeah.
simple and catchy.
Yeah.
Where with AI is there's just too much stuff going on. You know what I mean? It's like I don't need to have 20 different instruments in different sections. Like this is not what I
Yeah,
look for, right?
that's true.
But again, maybe for inspiration, like maybe for like doing samples and stuff, it might make sense. So
But ultimately, like AI is never original, right? Because it just takes the work of other people and it basically compiles all the information and like all the millions, hundreds of millions of songs that have been released by actual people.
yeah,
And it just takes the information and compiles it into one, right? So at the end of the day, it's just taking little things from everywhere.
I guess
That's how it works.
so.
So it's not really anything original.
I don't know what their catalog of music is. I don't think it's Spotify, or I don't think it's like major record label stuff, because I don't think these guys would get the permission to run the songs.
Well,
and learn their AI models on that.
well, they probably have some kind of database where they probably just take songs with or without authorization and probably just throw it into the database
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah.
machine learning, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, I know they probably because you can upload your own song to like Asuna or something
Yeah.
and ask it to like add or something, recreate it. So I'm pretty sure anything that you add to
Yeah. What are
Suno,
the privacy
there's
controls on?
probably
Yeah.
something in their terms and conditions that says that if you upload the song here,
Yeah.
we're gonna use it for our, machine learning algorithm or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure, they have something, they got their own ways of how they do their thing, but
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, even like engineering, like I'm curious where AI is gonna, because again, I don't know if there's any AI mixing yet,
There's no AI mixing. There's just AI mastering. What's that?
but AI mastering been around for like I would say at least 7 years or
What's
eight
that
years.
website called again that people use for mastering?
Lander.
Lander.
Yeah.
Yes. To be honest, I've never heard a good master off Lander.
No,
I've never heard an actual good master off Lander.
but I feel like even like with Ozone and stuff, it has like the AI
But
feature
the
and
thing with Ozone AI, I feel like the older versions of Ozone AI were better. I feel like the ones these days, like
Mhm.
11, I haven't really tried 12, but 12 they added a bunch of features. You can like be very specific in terms of what you want, but I
Yeah.
feel like it overcomplicates the mastering process like very significantly. Because they also added so many different modules, and whenever I get like whenever I try to use it to just to see like where the mix is at or just to see like what they would recommend,
Yeah.
it always gives me some crazy drastic changes, and I've noticed it always gives me something that's very very bright, like something that's
Mm.
very bright.
Honestly, I haven't tried the AI mastering from Ozone in probably 5 years or something, or a minute. It's been a long time, so I don't know how the new ones are. From back then, it it didn't sound right to me. I
Yeah.
mean, 10 out of 10 times when I was comparing my master to the AI stuff, mine sounded better, much better, because I knew
100%.
exactly where I wanted to be. But I feel like the problem with those AI features, especially for the mastering, is it doesn't necessarily listen to the record. It just takes the dynamic range, the EQ profile. Like it
Yeah.
it takes all the technicality and it's like, oh, it's too dark. We're gonna make it brighter. Oh, it has too much low end. We're gonna like tone it down. So it's like it just takes the information that it sees within the actual wave file and it bases, the work that it does of that, not like it doesn't hear the song and it's like, oh, the emotion is like this here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Or like, it's supposed to be darker because it's this type of record. Or what I mean? Like I don't really think it works like that.
Yeah.
But again, I might be just an idiot and I have no idea how it works. So
Yeah.
I just assume things.
I think mastering for AI, it makes more sense than mixing though, because when I'm thinking about mixing, although it's very technical, it is also emotional, like you
Yeah.
mentioned, right? So it's the technical thing is not always the right thing
Yeah.
for the mix.
100%.
So if you're sending something into AI, it's like there and you're, for example, like also you can choose the genre,
Yeah.
right? So for example, if you're choosing a pop song, it compares it to, they probably use like the tonal balance of low end,
Yeah.
mid, and high, and it calculates like the average pop song that's like big in the industry, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And it takes yours and it adjusts the EQ curve or the wideness or the imager to match those songs. But
Yeah.
what if that's not what you're going for,
Yeah.
right? So
100%.
it's hard to achieve a lot of those things in a mix. I feel like it's just too detailed. Whereas
Yeah.
mastering is just obviously you have the mix already and it's probably almost there, like 95% of the way there. It just needs that little sprinkle on top with the mastering to get it to that level. But
Yeah.
I think when you're starting from scratch with like a just rough stems, I don't know, I feel like it would be so challenging for AI to get your mix to where you want it to be.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, mixing is just a different. It's too complex.
Yeah, it's too complex.
And it's like, what if somebody wants like a certain delay here and something
Yeah,
here and a reverb throw here or something
exactly.
there? There's so many different details that you can do in the mix that I don't think. I mean, maybe you can do it I don't know. I remember those time where I know Manny Marhin, he was doing like an AI training thing. Apparently,
You did?
yeah, so there was a company, I remember he mentioned that somewhere. But that was like years ago. It was like probably 3, 4 years ago.
True.
Basically, that company, it was the AI thing, right? So they learn every single of the mixes that he did,
Yeah.
and then it's gonna be like Manny Marhin profile where you like send the stuff and they can kind of like,
Oh,
but
it tries to match it to like a mani mix.
yeah, but
Uh,
I don't know whatever happened to it because like I've never heard anything about it ever since. But
that'd
he
be
dropped
really
fire
interesting,
headphones
man.
though.
Yeah.
The Manny's are fire. I need to
Yeah.
get those.
Brandon has those, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are they called? The Audi's? Is that what it's called?
Audis, I think 500 or
Yeah.
1,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, those headphones are crazy.
Yeah.
Those are probably the closest ones to like having ATCs in your ear.
How much are those headphones again?
I think like 2,000 US
2000?
or like
Yeah.
25, something like that.
And it's open back, right?
hmm
Yeah, those are expensive headphones, man.
Yeah, but they sound great.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna front. It's like those are one of those like if you do a lot of work like remote, you need those.
Yeah. For sure. 100%.
So. But yeah, going back to AI and all that stuff and creativity, I feel like I don't know.
It's scary, man. It's scary because imagine this. You're a producer, you're calling yourself a producer at least, and people are asking for beats, but all you're really doing is going in an AI generated software. And you're like, give me a beat that sounds like this.
yeah. I mean, look,
Slaps it out, you send it to the client. Oh wow, like I like it, man. Like it was fire.
I
Yeah, send me $5.
I think that's just gonna create more saturation because at this point it's like you won't even have to understand. You
Yeah.
won't even have to have an ear to
Be a producer.
be a producer.
Anyone can be a producer.
Yeah, you can just
Like my
type-
mom could be a
Yeah,
producer.
literally, she can type in like,
Yeah.
give me a microwave type of beat.
Yeah,
I mean, like it just does it.
Literally.
So yeah, I feel like the creativity aspect of production or anything music wise
Yeah.
is gonna suffer. I mean, even going back, I don't even know if it's only AI. I think maybe people are just getting more stupid. You know what I mean? Because I mean, look, fam, it's true, right? It's like even think about the interns. You know the
The interns.
the interns.
You want name drop?
No name drops. Let these guys, look, I believe hopefully these guys gonna find themselves somewhere at some point. But simple things like people don't know how to like route cables.
Yeah.
They don't have critical thinking to turn on the fucking phantom power.
Yeah.
Like
That's not even critical thinking. That's just common sense.
yeah, but common sense becomes a critical thinking in those type of situations.
Yeah, I get what you mean. When you're under pressure trying to figure out what the problem is.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
like the problem is never as deep as you make it seem.
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to sound like I'm from ancient times, but for me, it's like back in the day when something doesn't work, I have to like open up the computer and like figure out is it the cable or something. Like I have to go to the trenches.
There's no Google, no Chat GPT.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta figure it out. You know what I mean? Like why it was working yesterday, it doesn't work today.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it might be an update happens.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I need to be aware of those things.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that if you have interns that, want to intern in the studio and then they don't know how to operate in the studio, then it's like, what is the point?
Yeah, for sure.
And the thing is that, you know what? Operate in the studio, that's one thing, but not having the ability to learn how to be in the studio, that's kind of insane.
Yeah.
And that's the fact though.
Yeah. But I will say, like, sometimes they're also not being prepared in the right way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but if they go to school, they should be prepared. Like,
No, I agree with you. They 100% should be prepared, but from my personal knowledge, I don't think like school prepares you to be in the studio.
no, 100%,
It
they
does-
don't.
You gotta like actually learn and go. That's why I think interning is so important, because if you just go to school and then you jump right into the studio, you're gonna be lost and
Yeah.
you're gonna be way too like panicky.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, "Yo, I like this, that, X, Y, Z." That's why like I think interning is so valuable, but at the same time, it's when you're interning, like you gotta make the most out of it, right?
Yeah.
You gotta ask the questions. You gotta pay attention. You gotta
Yeah.
be there every day,
Yeah.
right? Like you've had interns. Oh, yo, dog, I want to be your intern. See them once a month. Yo, dog, man. Yo, I don't feel like I'm learning anything, man.
Look, I don't even want to talk about. One day I'm gonna talk about all the intern situations that I had in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The crazy situation. I've had some crazy situations that happened to me. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And it's like, look, at the end of the day, it's all love, bro. It is what it is. You know what I mean? No hard feelings and all that stuff. But yeah, I feel like, you know, sometimes I remember when you was my intern.
Yeah.
I complain. I remember when, like, you know, Studio B, something happens. You and Brendan, you know,
Yeah,
something like. And but the thing is that the difference between like you guys and anybody else would be like, you guys would actually take time to try to figure it out before you call me.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you would spend time. It's like, yo, Dad, I tried everything. I just don't know. And now I'm coming. I'm like, yo, it's this.
Yeah. That's actually what usually happens.
You know.
Usually, like you come downstairs, you like, oh, boom, and it works.
But at least you still had that ability to try to at least troubleshoot.
Yeah.
And if it happened once, then you would learn. And
Yeah,
like,
it wouldn't-
at least you know.
Same problem would never happen twice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
But then you guys, same thing, 20 times a day.
Yeah.
This, that, cable, some. And I'm like, I get it too. And the thing is too, Studio B, even though it seems like it was complicated, it really wasn't. It was like very straightforward. It's like, you can come to the studio, don't touch any cables. You either press this or you press that, and it's gonna work. Whatever setup you have. It was set up in a very simple way, right? But people just didn't want to utilize their brain power.
Yeah. It's
You know?
unfortunate, man. It is what it is, though.
It is what it is. But yeah, I just hope as time, and I feel like we can kind of blame technology for this, because it seems how as time goes, everything seems simpler than what it was back then.
Mm-hmm.
But because it seems so simple, it's almost like people don't want to even
Yeah.
dive deep into it to
Yeah.
understand what it really does, you know?
People just want the answer right away. So
Yeah,
they-
without looking for the answer.
Exactly. So they skip, like, part of finding the answer is getting to the answer,
Yeah.
right? Because that develops your critical thinking. That
Yeah.
develops like your methodology and your intelligence.
Yeah.
Right? When you have a problem and you solve the problem, even if it might take you like freaking a whole week to solve the problem,
Yeah.
that's like an entire hunch or obstacle that you just overcame, and
Yeah.
that you gained something out of it.
100%.
But now it's like, oh, I have this issue. All right, ChatGPT, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's how I do it. Boom. But then, like, what did you learn from it?
Yeah, but people don't even know how to use ChatGPT though.
If you don't know how to use ChatGPT, then you're actually just dumb.
No, yeah, but that's the truth. You know what I mean? It's like, it is what it is. But yeah, you're completely right. You know, I feel like going through those hurdles and just learning like all the things as you go, it lightens up certain things in your brain that they're
Yeah.
always gonna stay there.
For
Like
sure.
this is how you grow as a human being.
Yeah, that's how literally.
This is how you grow as a human being.
Yeah, literally.
You know, but if you don't want to use that and you just trying to do it the easy way, it's like, yeah, you're doing it the easy way. And I feel like there's a big disconnection, especially nowadays. It's almost like this disconnection where people think that money equals intelligence.
Yeah.
Whereas like there's bare people that are fucking dumb and they just have money.
Yeah, it's very true.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
But again, what is the most important thing? You know, is it the money? Is it the intelligence? Like, I mean, I feel like too, it's like, man, we live in times where people gonna do anything for money.
Yeah. And it's sad.
You know what I mean, bro, it's like, I'm not even talking about OnlyFans and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
No, that's just
Like,
getting too off topic.
I mean, yeah, but not really. I feel like it kind of all correlates into one thing, right? Because it's like there are ways how you can make money without actually being,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
trying to learn. And I mean, maybe when you're an OnlyFans girls, maybe you have to learn business side. I don't know. Like, I don't do those things. I don't know. You know? But I think it's also very discouraging too, in a way where you see that you spend your whole life working like a madman,
Learning your craft.
learning your craft, like, you know what I mean, nights and days,
Yeah.
10,000 hours. I need to do this, you know, you have this whole vision.
Yeah.
And then you just have somebody busted wide open and gets like $10 million in a month, you know what I mean?
Oh man.
Oh
Yeah.
man, shit is crazy,
Nah,
man.
the society we live in today is
Yeah,
is
it's
insane, man.
madness.
It's
But
actually
you know,
insane.
even bro, I'm not even gonna lie. Even music, I feel like the music, and don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of great music around, but I feel like the music that's being pushed onto like mainstream and all that stuff. Good example, bro, is Playboy Carti.
Mm.
I don't think his music is good, and I'm not even trying to hate because when this guy was like Magnolia and all that stuff, I used to bump Playboy Carti, bro. I didn't even listen
Yeah.
to music like that. I was like, yo, this shit's fire.
Magnolia Times, and then the one after that, Die Lit. You
Yeah.
know, the black and white cover
Yeah,
where
yeah.
he's like jumping into a crowd. Like
Yeah.
that was my favorite Playboy Cardi.
Yeah,
And then he came out with Whole Lot of Red, and it was kind of
Yeah.
like, I don't know what this is. And now it's
it
just,
just sounds like noise. The latest thing
Yeah.
just sounds like I hear it and like everybody's like, yo, this is the greatest music, this and that. And I
Yeah.
hear it and I'm like, bro, this shit literally sounds like noise. It sounds like somebody takes like pieces of metal, starts to scratch it,
yeah.
and then it's just put some drums on it, and then just puts like distorted 808s, and I just hear it yelling and screaming.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, this sounds like only possessed people gonna listen to.
But it's crazy because there's an audience for that though.
But
That's the crazy part.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. There's an audience for that.
Yeah.
Maybe there's audience for everything.
I
you know?
think there is an audience for everything.
Or maybe the world is just lost. I don't know.
Maybe there's an audience because everyone is lost.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like maybe for me, you know, and maybe for me as an engineer, is like I know the music that I like to work on and I know what I like to listen to. So I always strive to work on the records that I know I'm gonna enjoy.
For sure. Yeah, that always makes the mixing, the recording, the mastering process easier, but also you're more passionate about it.
Yeah.
You feel it more.
Yeah.
The end product always just comes out better.
Yeah, for
Always.
sure. When I feel it, it's just like I don't even have like it's not even work. I'm just
Yeah.
like giving myself like I'm just swimming in it.
Yeah. 100%.
You know what I mean?
Those are the best. Those are the best ones.
But I guess, you know, even when it comes to working and engineering and all that stuff, it's like, you know, I guess I wouldn't be an engineer for every single type of work. You know, what I mean, if somebody sends me something, I'm like, I'm just not feeling it. I just wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Unless they pay me like $10 million.
Shit, man. $10 million, I'll fucking mix your garbage can.
Oh,
Yeah.
facts, man. Facts.
But yeah, I think that's a good time to wrap it up.
Yeah, what's the time?
So we're at 50 minutes.
Oh yeah, bless. Let's
Yeah.
wrap it up.
So yeah, that was another episode of Behind the Console.
Console.
I was about to say behind the podcast. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we're gonna start getting guests very, very soon. I think we could probably aim for like the next episode or two, start doing some guest episodes. So yeah, we still got a lot of interesting content, a lot of stuff we want to talk about, discuss. So we're gonna be here every week, man. So stay tuned for the next one. Thank you
Yeah.
guys for always tuning in. Appreciate
sure.
you.
All right, peace.
Peace.
Next time.